This is the cinder track at Rue de Bois in northern France. It marks the route down which the British Army attacked the German trenches during the Battle of Aubers Ridge on May the 9th, 1915. The battle was a disaster, with the British suffering 11,000 casualties in just one day. One of the lead battalions was the Royal Munster Fusiliers, who suffered nearly 400 casualties, including 150 dead.
On this side of the cinder track were the 2nd Battalion Royal Munster Fusiliers, and the other side were the 2nd Battalion of the Sussex. You had closest to the cinder track, you had B Company followed by D Company, and over on their left was A Company followed by C Company. Unfortunately, German machine guns infiltrated fire from the left hand side, so A Company got bogged down. Subsequently, C Company got bogged down and couldn't go any further. D Company took the first German trench, and there's a famous story of one of the guys standing up and waving his green flag, and they put their instructions was no halting, move on, it'll be mopped up behind you. So they moved on from there, and they got to the 2nd German trench, and they moved on again, and then finally they got to a stream which they needed to cross. The people carrying the duck boats had been killed at this point in time, so they couldn't get across. D Company left to come up and support them, and the battalion commander, Colonel Rickard, led D Company, and he was killed almost immediately. He left the trenches. So B Company, they then looked behind, and the trench they had occupied, the Germans had reoccupied it because of the failure of the attack behind them. So they were actually inside in this trench full of water that they couldn't cross, and which they discovered was now filled with barbed wire as well. Facing back towards their own lines, trying to shoot at the Germans who were shooting at them. Shortly after that, the word went back that the attack had failed to breach the German line, so the British artillery opened up again and actually caught them where they were. So effectively, when the barrage lifted again, second phase of the attack did not go in because of the casualties, and 3 people, the 3 Munsters, survived injured and were captured by the Germans.
Extraordinary, isn't it? It was one of the biggest debacles of the whole war, wasn't it? I mean, because obviously it was not just the Munsters, but the whole of the 1st Division was involved, and also the 7th, I think, down here, and then we had another attack from the north, isn't that right?
That's correct, yeah. This was the lower part of the pincer, the southern part of the pincer. The Sussex on the other side lost over 500 casualties. So it was, I mean, you can see the ground is flat, you know, it's, there is no ridge. I mean, Aubert Ridge is a bit of a misnomer because the ridge itself is only about 3 or 4 feet high. It was just a high point of ground.
Even now, 100 years on, the ground yields up its deadly secrets from that battle. From an Irish point of view, the battle is best known for the events which inspired this famous painting, the last general absolution of the Munsters at Rue de Bois, a copy of which now hangs in Richebourg Town Hall. To mark the centenary of the last absolution given by Father Francis Gleeson on the evening before the battle, the Mayor and Deputy Mayor of Richebourg unveiled a plaque at the exact spot.
Allons enfants de la patrie, le jour de gloire est arrivé. Contre nous de la tyrannie, l'étendard sanglant élevé, l'étendard sanglant élevé. Entendez-vous dans nos campagnes mugir ces féroces soldats qui viennent jusque dans nos bras, égorger nos fils et nos compagnes. Aux armes, citoyens, formez vos bataillons, marchons, marchons, cassant un mur, abreuvent nos sillons. Vive la France et vive l'Irlande.